Greetings, YouTube. I finally got around to looking at 2009's Gamer. Now, I actually didn't expect much from this. I knew that it hadn't done particularly well when it was released. The box office isn't huge. So going in here, I freely admit my expectations were down here. But I was really pleasantly surprised. First of all, the cast. Gerard Butler, Terry Crews, Keith David, Ludacris, John Leguizamo. This is a solid friggin' cast in this. Shoot, the reporter's name. I can't remember the actress's name. But she's also very good. This was a solid cast. And you could see some really creative use of some cheap scenes and settings. They were able to get a lot of leg out of a very small budget. Even with $50 million for a film, that's chump change. Okay, and they were able to shoot some very interesting stuff that wasn't going to be expensive and wasn't going to require huge budgets to pull off, as far as crane shots and things. Like you could have done a lot of this stuff with drones probably. I mean, as far as the above shot looking down, or just just simple boom cameras. This was not going to be a hugely expensive film. A lot of the special effects could have just been done cheap, with as far as CGI work done, because it was supposed to be a virtual reality computer interface. I think they set it out far enough too, because the film was supposed to take place in like 2034, and I think that was a pretty good target. I think it was far enough out that it kind of makes sense what they did, because there wasn't a lot of meat space technology differences. You didn't have laser guns, for example. There were very simple robotics available, like automatons, essentially. And it was all things that you could explain away by talking about the fact that it was supposed to be nanites used. You never had to see them. They could be just explained with computer graphics. Because, let's face it, nanites are the size of cells, so you're never going to see them. And I was surprised how solid the writing was and how decent the acting was. And I'm really surprised that this movie didn't do better. I'm kind of confused by this. This fusion of an update of Running Man, Schwarzenegger's Running Man, and the interjection of our social media saturation and the gaming culture, and all of these things coming together into this wonderful mesh, this wonderful web of supporting technologies and supporting social structures. You had the paranoia of an all-present technocrat out there to control the world. So it had the kind of James Bond vibe. So yeah, I was really surprised that this didn't do better. And it was just a fun romp. It was very violent, so flat out, you got to be prepared for that. There was sexual content. There was nudity. And there was also a wonderful sense of humor in different spots, which was great. Because I always find it pleasant when you have realistic kind of levels of humor in a tense situation, because that really can help give the audience not only a laugh, but a breather until you get to the next scene. And there was an homage to Pris from Blade Runner, which made me smile so much when I saw it. That was just so awesome. So yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised about this. Now, in case anyone doesn't know the premise of Gamer, essentially, gaming has gotten to the point where humans can now completely interface with an icon or a puppet. And it starts with a game called Society. And people can play Society in one of two ways. One, you can be paid to be a puppet. And then other people pay to run the puppet. So within this game zone, the puppets are there, and they're being controlled by their players, or either by their puppeteers. And they can be used for any number of interactions, of course, obviously partying and sex and what have you. And they can decide what their costumes they're wearing. So the Gophers of the world, who love micromanaging what their characters outfits are would love this aspect of the game. Um, and it freely admitted it dealt with the negative aspects of some of the gaming culture. And there were some stereotypes, but I think that a lot of it was just tongue in cheek. It wasn't taken all that seriously in some most aspects. At one point, one of the recurring characters who's been a bit player, literally a bit player, he's a minor player of the game society, has problems, and these technocrat droogs show up in his apartment, and he asks, "Who are you?" And he says, "We're tech support." That made me smile. Now, the game society eventually all evolves into something called Slayers, where they take it to the next level. Because not only can you now play a character, you can now die and kill others with your character. They use condemned criminals, which of course are probably readily available in our society, particularly in America, and they use them in actual combat. So it's Call of Duty, except with real people shooting each other. And the idea is that if a icon being played by a player hits 30 wins, you're free. You can also volunteer to be essentially an NPC. And if you decide to be an NPC, a prisoner decides to be an NPC, they are thrown into a game run by a computer program, essentially to repeat some kind of emotion or just do some kind of an action. And if they live through a session, they're done. They're free. Of course, the problem is they're an NPC controlled by a piece of software. And anyone who's ever played something like, Fallout 4 or Skyrim will tell you, often NPCs do not make the best choices. And even in 2034, apparently the software hasn't gotten a lot better because a lot of these subroutines are very basic. I'm not sure why they're so basic. They're actually, they're so basic they make me think of something like the original Fallout. And that's how basic they are. I think they're more basic than they really could have been in 2034, but they were trying to make a point. So I let them pass on that one. I did call a little bit into a question that the nanites are not just controlling people and allowing you to interface, but the nanites were supposed to have actually replaced your brain cells. That took it a little over the top for me. So this is not just a cyberpunk interface brain to brain. This is a replacement of brain cells. And I don't think we're going to be able to pull that out by 2034. Essentially, you're talking about a synthetic brain as good or better than a human brain. And I think that maybe 2134, but not 2034. If you just said it was a cybernetic link between one person and another, I think that would have been far more plausible. If you had gone more cyberpunk than transhuman, I think it would have been a lot more believable. And they actually do touch on the idea of being able to tap into someone's memories and other people be able to record them and watch them. So there is a little bit of the transhuman thrown in there, the ability to perceive someone else's memories as pure data, or data, I'm going to say that. So yeah, I was shocked. This Gamer was a better movie than I expected. Now the problem is, my wife has really not been hot on R-rated violent movies. And I was able to watch this film because she's away on vacation in Virginia at the moment of this filming. And I would like to watch it again with commentary, so I'm gonna have to wait till she goes on a trip someplace again, not over a night or something, because she's not gonna want to watch this with the violence. Really, she's just not gonna be her thing at the moment. So I'm hoping I get to see it in the near future, in the next year or so, and I can watch it with commentary because I do so enjoy commentary. I also rewatched Dredd tonight. Awesome film, highly recommended, and I'm really disappointed that I've never seen a copy of Dredd with commentary. If anybody out there knows that if there is a Dredd available with commentary, tell me, because I will rebuy it just so I have a copy with commentary. Because Carl Urban knocked that out of the park, man. Awesome job. So, in closing, Gamer is a very entertaining film with a solid cast, good writing, excellent use of a low budget to get a lot of mileage out of not a lot of dollars. So yeah, I really liked it.